Well, this is it. My final game is the Madden 21. Thought it'd be fitting to end it with Drew Brees. Let him put up some big numbers in the air raid offense and then ride off into the sunset. Overall, I'd say I enjoyed Madden 21. It's definitely a step up gameplay wise from Madden 20 in my opinion. Whereas in 20, you struggled with the passing game, being able to throw the ball short and get upfield after catches. That wasn't the case in Madden 21. Things like halfback swings, screen routes, and throws to flats are actually viable. I did think the man coverage was a little bit too strong at the beginning of the year. You had cornerbacks who generously could be described as average were keeping up with the elite receivers in the game, stride for stride, and mirroring the routes. Sometimes they're running the routes ahead of the receivers. And you'll still see that occasionally here, but for the most part that's been past. Then of course, you still have the issues with run defense in Madden 21. Players not taking the correct gaps and just having awful pursuit angles. But it's nowhere near as bad as what Madden 20 was, with people being able to run stretch and dive every single play up and down the field. Really, I'd say Madden 21 was what Madden 20 should have been upon launch. You know, Madden 20 introduced RPOs, which is one of the biggest developments they've had gameplay wise in quite a while. But it just didn't live up to the potential because of other gameplay issues. While Madden 21 didn't have those, or it didn't have it to the same degree. And of course, that's not to say that there weren't other issues and bugs with the gameplay that frustrated me and other players. You know, match coverage was riddled with bugs, especially against compressed and trip sets where defenders could often get turned free running down the field with no one there to match them. And of course, deep crossers, defenders in their deep zones would never react to them crossing their faces until after the ball was thrown. Pulling linemen and fullbacks would often ignore the person right in front of them to go chase and block someone who's completely removed from the play. I think at the end of the day, you still have to remember it's a video game and it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be able to replicate everything. We can hope that it does as much as it can and just try and adapt from that. So that was just my thoughts on Madden 21. Now, talking about the gameplay here a little bit. The first play I came out in was white stick. Then after that I ran mesh. Then I checked a wide receiver screen, but I checked a halfback screen after that. Now I'm going to come out in wide cross. I'm going to tag it with an H shallow, so it's 95 H shallow. You see there I swing the halfback to replace where the out route would have been from H. Just keep H and F interchangeable on that concept. Here now I'm going to come out in mesh post wheel. You need to make sure to re-wheel the halfback because otherwise the quarterback will miss him if you throw it to him. There you see Michael Thomas came open on the post route in the end zone, so I'm going to hit him for the touchdown. On defense against trip sets like this, I'm usually going to either run palms or cover 9. See, that's why I come out in here. Generally, quarters isn't as good against trip as palms is, and the weak side safety isn't as active, and you're going to give up some bigger plays down the seam. And of course, cover 3 won't match against trips. And of course, just throwing multiple slant routes across the field, someone's going to get open eventually. It's really hard to cover that with your user unless you try and use zone drops. And I'm going to run palms against bunch and compressed sets. Throw on some quarters here and some cover 9 and cover 6 as well. Throw in a bit of 3 buzz occasionally too, and just keep them off kilter a little bit. And there you see I messed up with my user. I should have had number 2 vertical because I was on safety, but I kind of bailed on that early and just left the corner on an island. Fortunately, he was able to cut underneath that and pick it off. And this guy's going to quit out. So, on to the next game. Against against the Seattle Seahawks. I get to see Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf. There, quarters, I'm going to show blitz to bring both of my safeties down the box. Here I over pursued with my user. You're going to notice I'm not that great at stick skill maneuvering. Consider myself decent at understanding concepts and how they're supposed to work. Play calling I can get kind of repetitive at times and just kind of get tunnel vision, and if something doesn't work I might try it over and over thinking eventually it's going to work, and that winds up hurting me. And of course, you know, my stick skills are awful on offense. I usually just run on conservative because I'm not going to be using ball carrier moves and I want to reduce the chance of fumbling. There, he didn't have anywhere to go with the football. Brings up 2nd and 10. Again, just lance across the field. You can't cover everything with your user. 3rd and 1. I'm expecting him to run it. See, I bite on that play action. It leaves Tyler Lockett wide open for the touchdown. Again, on offense, I'm going to come out with the same opening script. Come out with Y stick. Just get a quick pass, feel out the defense, and get the ball out fast. Then I'm going to come back with a drop back pass, which is mesh. Throw the ball underneath and get yards after the catch. Here, check to a wide receiver screen again. This time I'm going to stay with the wide receiver screen because I've got 2 blockers out there against 2 defenders. We're going to pick up a decent chunk of yards until we run into Jamal Adams. Here, that's clearly cover 0. The way he's dancing around with his user, you tell he wants to try and pick it off and get me to bait me into throwing a route. I'm going to check to Y corner there and just throw it up, and my guy beats his coverage. And here, bring my safeties down the box. Here he's running play action crossers, and he doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. You know, that route was bracketed with 2 defenders on it. That was cover 3 lock right there. He's running a dime against that. Yep. So I think I stay in cover 3 lock again. Alright, he's able to fit it into his tight end and possession catch it. There, that was a dangerous throw. Going back across his body near the user. He is able to pull it off. Again, throwing into really tight windows there while moving around with Russell. There, hand it off and just cut it back outside. That was a risky throw there. Playing with fire on that one. Here, bring both my safeties down. He checks it down to his halfback, but we're able to stop him from not getting many yards after that. He actually loses a yard on it. Again, going back to halfback slip screen. This time he gets the blocks and dances as he walks into end zone. That's one thing I never really understood why people were so upset about it, was adding celebrations to the game. I'm really indifferent on that. I get that it probably took resources away from something else, but there's just so many other things EA is devoting resources to that I think aren't worth it. Like the yard, superstar kickoff. Rather they not spend the money on those things and focus more on gameplay aspects. You know, update the playbooks. Give us some new concepts and variations of concepts, clean them up, fix concept overlap. As you see, Drew Brees show off his dual threat skills there. Here I'm going to check to stick. I'm going to tag the backside of that with Dragon, which is essentially a slant flat combo. Except in this version of it, I'm going to do a whip route instead of a flat route. And that's mainly because I'm going to be facing a lot of man coverage. So I want something that gets open against that, and Drew Brees just kind of sailed that over Kamara's head there, and Kamara just cut off his route. So that got pick sixed. That's okay, because we're going to hit Michael Thomas over the top on the Mills concept and almost get into the end zone there. It's now 24 seconds left, first and goal. Spin a timeout. Come out in this open flex play. I come out and counter Trey, but then I'm going to check the halfback toss because it looks like I've got space to run on the outside. And we're going to punch it into end zone. Yeah, spike that ball. Yeah, and come out and cover 3 lock. Make sure I'm giving him that too high look every time pre-snapping. He's just throwing up a prayer there. Yeah, halfback slip screen. I think he's just trying to get in, hopefully get into field goal range or something close to it for one more shot. Here, I never really got why players wanted to run play action in these situations, because the defense is never going to bite on that. He's just going to run up and pick up some yards with Russell Wilson there. Didn't have a chance getting into the end zone. Coming on to the second half, he's going to start with an onside kick and try and go for the throat and the kill shot against me. But the thing about onside kicks is, you know if they're going to do it, so you never really should be caught off guard. You should always be paying attention. And there, you'll notice I actually could have possibly hit the post route for a touchdown there. He's over the top. Jamal Adams could have maybe peeled back for it. But I was also getting pressure on the backside of Drew Brees, and he's about to get his back cracked there. Again, take a shot with Mills, go into the end zone. There, another halfback slip screen. Second one, he just runs up the middle and picks up the first. Again, runs up the middle, I shoot down with my user and I'm able to meet him in the gap. Only picks up 2 on that. And another halfback slip screen that almost gets pick sixed. It's more double slants and throw back across his body. These plays are always hard to defend. Of course, unless you want to use zone drops, which I don't, mainly because I run a lot of match coverage, and zone drops don't work with match coverage. Just messes everything up. Got people where you don't think they should be, and you're covering grass instead of covering people. Here, 4th and 15, he's going for it. Gonna come out and cover 3 lock again. Here he's got nowhere to go with football and just throws it into coverage. Here I'm going to check to what scat. Scat's not really an air raid staple play, but you'll see a lot of air raid teams run it. It's really kind of a constrained or counterplayed slants, or the slant flat combo. And the way it's supposed to work is the receiver sells slant and then abruptly cuts off his route. Which that's not really how it works in Madden. Madden, it's a lot closer to just running a hitch route or stick. So I'll throw it in there occasionally, but it's not going to be a staple play, and it's not a staple play in real life either. Alright, that was a risky throw. And you see I did that dragging concept on the backside, except instead of a flat route I did the whip route in case it was man coverage. That's the thing about a lot of quick game concepts like sticking corner. There are a lot of things you can do to tag the backside of it. Here, just check the mesh. Here you see the tight end's open. Gonna get close to the end zone. Down to the 4-yard line. Here I'm going to come out in a situational formation, which is a gun wing one. You can usually add a few situational formations to your custom playbooks and just add some variety and give you a chance in situations that the air raid offense isn't as good at, which is short yardage, run the ball type of things, and run out the clock. So I'll do maybe like 2 to 4 situational formations in a custom playbook. Here I'm going to come out with a halfbacks jet sweep play. We're going to run it into the end zone. Now we're up by 8 points, 3:41 left. There, I shot up with his slot receiver there. I think that's DK. And because I'm worried about play action, or the play action crossing routes rather, and just giving up a huge chunk, and I give up a first down from him running the ball. There again, maneuver the pocket with Russell Wilson, get out and throw the football into the tight window. Did a pretty good job of improvising with Russell and creating space when he didn't have a lot. And there, he makes a mistake. It's 2nd and 1, 1:55 left. He doesn't need to force that. I don't know if he meant to throw it to someone else or he meant to throw it away and just press the wrong button. There, we're going to hand it off to Kamara and pick up a huge gain. 3 carries, 35 yards. Here I made a mistake. I thought that was an alert bubble. I thought I changed my audible since I was running with Drew Brees instead of a more mobile quarterback. Instead, I left it as a read play. 1st and 15, run a mesh post wheel. Hit the mesh route underneath with Michael Thomas. Here I'm going to come out with a white cross. Looks like he's running a cover 0 blitz there, so I'm thinking that out route is a hot. And it's open, so I'm going to hit that. Here I kind of mess up, show off my poor stick skills again, and run into the defender. And I could have probably actually ran past him for the touchdown. Here I'm going to run 4 verts, tag the X receiver to drag, so it's 6X shallow. And of course you swing your halfback to the opposite side to replace the route that you're removing. And he's had enough now. So there you see Drew Brees' stats. 16 of 17, 324, 4 touchdowns, and that 1 interception. Now, between those 2 games in a little over 4 quarters, Drew Brees came 1 yard shy of 400 passing and had 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Really solid performance. And that's going to conclude my time in Madden 21. Peace.